A very good afternoon from the Perth Hockey Stadium at Curtin University. It is the preliminary final of the men's competition in the Premier 1 grade, and it is Melville City who are taking on Wesley South Perth. If we turn our attention to the league tables, you'll see just where they finished after the regular season. And Melville finished top of the table, 51 points, and they had 80 goals to their credit, 40 against. WASPS finished in third spot with a really up and down season where they had just the 12 wins, 7 losses, 39 points, so a fair way off the pace. And they lost their initial qualifying final to Hale 3-5, and of course Melville lost their final against Hale after drawing 2-2. They lost in a shootout by 4-3. But Wasps bounced back and beat Wolves 4-2, and that's why they're here today, one game away from the grand final. Melville will feel they deserve to be there, having finished top of the ladder. But there's still a lot of hockey to come in the game today, and it should be an absolute cracker of a match. Well, we turn our attention to the team lineups and the players to look out for in this game. Without a shadow of a doubt, Tim Gears is a key player for Melville City. He's their captain, and he needs to have a really good game. I have a feeling that his brother Sam Gears is going to step up to the plate today and have a really big game as well. Kookaburra Tim Brown is again another important player for them, wearing number 19, playing in the forward line. And James Day in the heart of their defence, wearing number 25, leading goal scorer from penalty corners. He is a danger man, whatever he does when they get a penalty corner. So those are the players that I feel are the ones to look out for in a really strong team for Melville. They are without Lachlan Sharp, though, their other Kookaburra. Wesley South Perth, well, they're also without their Kookaburra in Trent Mitten. He's been one of their talisman when it comes to scoring goals, 14 in the season. And the big question is, can somebody else step up today and get the goals for them? The players to look out for, because they're also out with Bryn de Bez is missing, so it means that Daniel Rainey is going to have to really step up in the midfield along with Duncan Pearce wearing number 7. Pearce is their penalty corner converter, and you feel James Richardson needs to marshal his defence and get them really organised today, because Melville can score goals, and they did score goals against Wasps in the first round of the season, where they were victorious by 7-3. I don't think it's going to be a repeat of that result, as we see the players down below. They're just tossing the coin with Tim Gears waiting, I think, for Kale Walsh to come across, the captain of Wasps. Gives me a chance to thank our sponsors, FMG, Ausdrill, Danks Furniture and Tiger Turf, and of course Kookaburra as well. Danks Furniture will no doubt be over the moon, because we've just witnessed Hale, who they also sponsor, making their way through in the women's Premier 1 grade to the grand final for the first ever time. Well, Melville have never won a grand final. They lost in 2016 to Wasps, so there's a little bit of an edge to this game, and they'll really want to get revenge for that loss 3 years ago. It's going to be an interesting game. Melville coached by Craig Wilson. Craig Wilson, who was appointed in 2018, he played for Melville, also coached the state under-21s. And of course Wasps coached by Dean Evans, better known as Jack, a former Australian player. 99 caps he was stranded on when his international career came to an end. He's also been involved with Suburban Lions, where he was the coaching and development officer there, or manager there, in 2018. So injuries have gone against Wasps, but they'll be hoping that that strong spirit they've built up, being in the finals over the last 6 seasons, will be able to pull them through. Sometimes it's that experience that is the difference between winning and losing these really big games. Our umpires for this match, Daniel Johnston and Jordan Moore, and we wish them well as well, because if you don't notice them, you know they've had a good game. So there's a buzz around the Perth Hockey Stadium. There's plenty of people on blankets waiting to see who will meet Hale in the men's Premier 1 grand final next Saturday. Will it be Melville or will it be Wasps? Whistle goes and Wasps get us underway in their familiar yellow strip. Pearce to Rainey. Comes across now to Hale Walsh. It's just lost there, although fortunately goes off the stick of Sampson into the foot. So it is a free hit to WASPS. The amazing thing is, if you go back over the last 3 seasons, WASPS have scored 3 goals against Melville in every single meeting. Now they say records like that are there to be beaten or broken, but it is a formidable record, and you would think that the Melville players would be well aware of that. Comes out to Hale Walsh. Hale Walsh has played it straight into Sam Gears, and over the side it went. Stolen as Rainey slipped. Sam Gears now, a little bit of space. Walsh was inside him. Jamie Walsh helps out. Hale has to just double back, and then it's a stick check from Sam Gears, who says, what about the one further down the pitch? Well, that's history now. Murray McIntyre gets that under control. The aerial pass running away from goal and just played over the baseline by Dylan Forbes. Did he make any attempt to play it to the side? Could that have been a penalty corner? Well, we don't see them paid very often. Certainly didn't look as if there was much attempt made to play it over the side, but there rarely is these days. James Day played it forward, just mistrap from Patrick Welsh, and over the side it goes. Flick of the wrist. Rainey's made a good run down the middle, gets it under control, but he just couldn't keep it in play. But it was a good run. Nobody really went with Rainey, and that's another good steal from Murray McIntyre. One hand on the stick, plays it towards goal. McCorn just lets it run all the way past his goal, over the baseline. Day again, carries over the 23 metres, chased all the way by Lewis Barrett. Lewis Barrett, the beneficiary, I think, of the injury to Brynda Bez. And allowed to run in the circle, and it's played to the back post. It's into the goal, and the first attack of the match, and Kyle Potter gives Melville the lead. Well, would you believe it? They've been under the pump since the opening whistle. We're in the 3rd minute of the match, and Kyle Potter, with his first touch from my reckoning, has given Melville the lead. Well, just trying to see Dean Evans, the coach, and I'm sure he would be absolutely fuming about that. But it has been WASP season, really. They've conceded a lot of goals this year. Conceded the most of any team in the top 5. So the big question is, can they fight back? Still plenty of time to go in this match, and as we saw in the previous game, the women's preliminary final, it was a goal to Suburban Lions that they took to half-time, but they ended up going down in the end to Hale. Inside the circle, Murray McIntyre wanted a penalty corner, not given. James Day plays on, pushes it into space, and Tim Brand a little bit frustrated that it was played into the space that was a long, long way from where he was expecting the ball to come. So Matthew Swan goes back across to Jamie Walsh. Duncan Pearce plays it into space again. There's nobody there, though, for WASP. Lewis Barrett just jogs across now to try and close down Wesley Stewart. Good run again down the flank, coming from Justin Shonken. Good pass from him. Off his line is, well, it was into the foot. Off his line was Richardson, I was about to say, and he played it into the foot of Ryan Hyder. But Shonken, well, he's been involved now in 2 moves that have unlocked the WASP defence. He set up the first goal, and then again there, put a good ball in that Richardson had to clear. Jamie Walsh Throws it long out to the far side and not brought under control, unfortunately, for Wasps by Dylan Deere. Brand, Deere gets a little touch, takes it away. Tim Gears will collect the loose ball though, plays it out wide now to Trent Potter. And that was played into the shin of Lachlan Sampson. Carried forward by Ross Hall. Brand again making himself available and turning with ease away from Dylan Deere. That was nearly a very, very good pass, but was just a little bit behind Ryan Hyder. So Hyder making a nuisance of himself already. He was the club fairest and best in 2018, shared the award with Matt Willis. Also completed 100 Premier League games for the club in 2018, Ryan Hyder. There was a stick check there from Day, but it's not paid to Brandon Gibbs. Now Tim Gears coming forward, and a really strong challenge from Kale Walsh, and he gets the decision. So Swan goes forward. Gibbs will go back to Pearce, and Swan will get it back again. Pearce now. Pearce, who recently just won the WASPS Lee Bottomade Fairest and Best Award for 2019. Played wide, and Brand gets it under control. Brand looks to try and dink the ball past Pearce, but Pearce came out. In fact, it was Kale Walsh, sorry. Kale Walsh coming up with the ball. It was a very good tackle by Kale Walsh. Well, we're at the halfway stage of the first quarter. Just one goal separating the two at the moment. The first attack that Melville had, resulting in a goal. Quite happy just knocking the ball around. Carried forward now by Ross Hall. Swan will collect that with ease. McIntyre is just down the line, but that was a good ball played in. That's not a good pass in the end from Keogh to pick out McIntyre. Keogh, though, nearly stealing that one. Ball comes through to Patrick Welsh. Now James Day goes for the diagonal pass, but manages to pick out Tim Brand. Brand lays the ball back now for the goal scorer, Kyle Potter. Desperate defending, and across the face of goal. Free hit goes the way of Justin McDougall. So Melville pressing for a second. We've got two balls on the pitch. Not quite sure why that one was rolled on from the right-hand side. Brand over the ball, though, for Melville. Drops the ball back. Played in and watched all the way out of play by James Richardson. Kale Walsh over the ball. Dancing in front of him is McDougall. Manages to pick out Brandon Gibbs, but it just bounced too high and over the sideline. James Day, little flick of the wrist by him, brought down this time by Trent Potter. That should be collected by Jamie Walsh. It is indeed, and deflected over the side by Potter. Well, who will be playing here next week? At the moment, Melville are in the better position. They've got the goal. Wasps wanted to have Trent Mitten back for this game if they could, but apparently the Kookaburra staff not happy. Tim Gears with a shot. He's put it in the corner. What a finish. Well, Richardson was pouring air. What a finish that was by Tim Gears, and it's 2-0 now to Melville. A wonderful finish. And Melville are really in a strong position now. Well, Wasps, how are they going to react to this? They were drubbed first game of the season, as I mentioned, 7-3. Lachlan Sharp getting a hat-trick in that match. Lovely skills coming forward. Lachlan Sampson. Sampson feeds the ball wide. This could be a chance. Joel Mitten, it is indeed. Well, Trent may not be here, but his brother Joel takes up the challenge, and he pulls a goal back for Wasps. 2 goals within 30 seconds. And that is the perfect response by Wasps. And it will certainly let Melville know that they are in a game. Oh, McCorn, I'm sure, will be a little bit disappointed he didn't keep that one out. But it is now definitely game on. Should mention that win in the opening round of this season was actually Melville's only win over Wasps in 7 matches. So I wonder if that's in the back of their mind. That was drilled into the foot of Day. Day retreats as Rainey goes on, cracked into the circle, deflected over the baseline by Wes Stewart. Long corner to Wasps. Surely they can't get it to 2-2 by the end of the first quarter. Swan now pushes the ball out wide. Hale Walsh is there, comes back to Swan again. He'll be pressured by Sam Gears. Manages to use wonderful stick work to get away from Gears. That was almost a very, very good steal from Justin Shonken. Swan, though, still going. And Swan still going, gets a free hit off Day. Wasps are into the circle, appeals for a penalty corner. Hale Walsh feeling that his stick was ripped out of his hands by the defender. Walsh was just lurking in case Day just decided to play the ball back. He was going to try and intercept it. Comes to Matthew Tate now. Tim Gears turns away. Good turn from him away from Joel Mitten. That was well read by Joe Robinson. Robinson goes infield. It's a little bit tight, but Sampson manages to pick out Miles Hale. Miles Hale, known as the Bull by his teammates. Certainly a very strong man. And Sampson, well, that's unfortunate, just hit his own shin, and now there's a chance. Gears plays it forward. That was Swan again, combining well with Duncan Pearce to prevent the pass, finding its mark inside the circle to Carl Potter. Pearce, and Day just collects that with ease, pushes it out onto the left-hand side where Justin Shonken has a little bit of space. Hale Walsh tries to close it down, but Jamie Walsh cleans up behind. Played into the turf and lifted, so it is now deemed dangerous. It'll be a free hit to Melville with just over a minute and a half left in the first quarter. Ball played all the way back into the defensive line. Comes across now to Matthew Tate. Tate thought about going to Day, then advances, but good work closing him down from Robertson. Day on halfway. Comes to Tate again. Now they push it forward. Swan, though, read the pass well. Sampson will collect. Sampson tries to go past, and a wild swing as he was put under pressure by Wes Stewart. We're into the final minute of this first quarter. Hale Walsh advancing down the left-hand side is Brandon Gibbs. Gibbs has continued his run. Ball goes to Rainey. Rainey gets the free hit, plays on quickly. Dinks the ball past one. Into the circle it goes, but, well, Gibbs had just moved to the back post. If he'd been by the front post, he may well have got the deflection that Wasps needed to get themselves on level terms at the end of this first quarter. James Day will flick to the air again. Gibbs will bring that one down. Rainey slips again. See him slip quite a few times. Don't know whether it's those shoes or just the position he gets his body in. Thrown over the top, and Hale Walsh will let that one bounce out of play, and that is the hooter and the end of the first quarter. What a start to this match we've just had. Kyle Poddick giving Melville the lead in the 3rd minute. Tim Gears roofing one to stretch that lead to 2-0 in the 11th minute, but then Melville just resting on their laurels, conceding within 30 seconds as Joel Mitten pulled a goal back for WASPS. So going into the first quarter break, it is Melville City 2, WASPS 1. Welcome back to the Perth Hockey Stadium. Melville huddle just breaking up as they prepare to go out for the start of the second quarter. It's been an outstanding start to this match. 3 goals in the first quarter. Can they get some more in the second quarter? Just interesting looking at both coaches. Were very calm in those huddles, talking to the players. Dean Evans had a long chat with Joel Mitten. So Wasps push back and get the second quarter underway. Still chasing this game. Brought down by Brandon Gibbs. Gibbs is almost into the circle, coming back. Good defensive play from Dylan Forbes. Shonken didn't get that under control, and a misplaced pass is collected in the end by Kyle Potter. He's dispossessed. Rainey plays it into the centre. Mitten is there. Mitten driving towards goal. McCorn, good save. That went over the baseline, and it will be a long corner to Wasps. Well, the ball just wasn't sitting. Played in again by Rainey first time. Nobody there to be able to get the deflection, and McCorn just watching that one go harmlessly out of play. Potter closed down. Sampson did really well to steal possession. Robertson back to Sampson now. Day as Sampson peels off his shoulder. Sampson goes onto the forehand. That was all stick. Good defensive work from James Day. Low down for a very tall man. And just got all his stick behind that to deflect it over the baseline. So Cale Walsh now with a long corner. Mitten tries to deflect it. It's gone up into... Oh, it's Rainey's taken it quickly. Here's a great chance for Wasps. It's there! Brandon Gibbs has got the equaliser. Well, I think just they were looking for the ball to be too high, and it wasn't given. And so Wasps played on quickly with Rainey, picked out Gibbs in space, and Gibbs said, thank you very much, beat McCorn, and they're all level. Just 2 minutes now into the second quarter. For anyone who was expecting a tight game, it doesn't seem to be that we're going to see that now. Wasps trying to get something going again. It's stolen well. Tim Gears carries it forward. Down the line, it's a really good pass to pick out McDougall. McDougall taking on Swan. McDougall just inside the circle. Swan finds the foot, and in the end, it is Swan who gets the free hit. Dean Evans like that. He was applauding the tackle from Swan. Down below us. Brandon Gibbs up the middle he goes, looking for McIntyre. He's taking a deflection off the Melville stick of Dylan Forbes. And although a 16 has been given, well, I must say I thought Forbes, and the reaction that Forbes gave, it was almost like when you edge a cricket ball through to the wicketkeeper. His head spun round as he worried that there was a bit of trouble behind him. Ross Hall across with Day. Day carries over halfway. Strong running from him. That pushes it to nobody in particular. If we look at the Melville form coming into this game, they lost the last game of the season. They lost their first semi-final, but before that they've been unbeaten in 16 games. Their last defeat being 27th of April against YMCC. Their last clean sheet came on the 11th of July. WASPS, incredibly, have had 6 clean sheets this season. Their last was on the 24th of August, and they had another one on the 10th of August. They're not going to keep a clean sheet today, but it means that their defence has been a little bit tighter towards the end of the season. Rainey, who started like a train in this match. That's deflected off the stick of Ross Hall. Long corner. Duncan Pearce, man born in South Africa, very much calling Australia home these days, while his sister plays for New Zealand. And that was very nearly got through all the way to Joe Robinson. Robinson felt it should have been a long corner. Day has taken the 16 quickly, thrown it over the air. Swan, well, that was brilliant. And Brand gave him a little bit of a push. Swan advances just one hand on the stick. He'll slip that back to Lachlan Sampson. Goes infield to Pearce. Good work, Dylan Deere as well at the back with Jamie Walsh. That's given away though now. It's trouble. Trying to get forward was Carl Potter. And it's a free hit going the way of Melville. Tim Gears, the captain, over the ball. James Day. That's into the circle it goes. Deflected by Swan, who bangs his stick into the turf in frustration. I think he felt he should have trapped that one. So Kyle Potter comes across now to Ross Hall. Hall plays it out to Tim Gears. Gears looks to take on Lachlan Sampson. Deflection, long corner. So Tim Gears, again, says, I'll take this one. Moves back, goes to James Day. Day comes square to Hall. And Swan maybe could have let that one run to Dylan Deere. Instead, he played it, and it will be a long corner. We've got 2 balls on the pitch once more, so got to get rid of one of those. Tim Gears waits till that's gone. Plays the pass. Turn from Kyle Potter is a good one across the face of goal, and it's a 3rd goal. Tim Brand was there, but it was really good work by Potter, and Melville have taken the lead once more. So Brand was in the perfect position, but it was a fantastic pass to pick him out. Carl Potter with the pass, Brand with the finish. Melville 3, Wasps 2, and Wasps have it all to do again. So Swan, and he's dispossessed. A chance to come forward for McDougall. McDougall looking to square it to Brand. McDougall into the circle. Richardson comes out, and past the post it goes. James Richardson came very, very early there, and in the end it paid dividends. To keep coming from behind, if Wasps can, shows a lot of spirit, a lot of character. Kale Walsh over the ball. There's a bit of movement ahead of him. In the end, he just lifts the ball in the air to Brandon Gibbs. Gibbs faced with Ross Hall and dispossessed by Ross Hall. Brand now has a run. McDougall. Richardson comes off his line quickly, gets his pad to it. Swan plays it up in the air, and that was in the end created the danger. Intelligent from Frank Reynolds. So Melville, halfway through the 2nd quarter, have the lead again. Ross Hall carries forward. That should be collected, and is collected by Brandon Gibbs. Miles Kale goes back to Gibbs again. Lachlan Sampson will be closed down by Trent Potter. Potter timed his tackle to perfection. Brand. Desperate defending from Gibbs. Brand, though, manages to get the ball infield, and this is danger. Comes to Brand again. Top of the circle. Sampson got a touch and Pearce too, but it was cleaning up in the end from Hale Walsh. Now Swan drives through the middle of three players, still going, but now Gears will get it. It will in fact be a free hit, and Swan comes off for a breather. Certainly he's got through a mountain of work early on in this match, Matthew Swan. Gibbs plays it towards the circle. Murray McIntyre is there. McIntyre tried to just play that one into the path of Joel Mitten. Good defence, though. And now a chance to break forward for Hyder. Hyder pushes it forward to Sam Gears. Sam Gears tries to go past Walsh. Walsh just gets a touch. Over the baseline it goes. Another long corner. Patrick Welsh self-passes for Melville. Closed down by Pearce. Infield it goes. And that's another good block to take the ball away from Kyle Potter. And Murray McIntyre in the forward line for Wasps. Incredibly, has been averaging 17 goals a season throughout his career. Hasn't got that this season, but still been scoring. He's got 6 to his name in 2019, but it's the goals he sets up nowadays, just with the wealth of experience and knowledge in his head. Ross Hall. Hall again. James Day. That's Welsh. And it's going to break. Luckily for Melville, for Ryan Hyder. Hyder got inside the circle. Swan didn't have a very long break. He's back out there already making a very important tackle. Miles Cale now in the defensive line has given the ball away to Welsh. And at the moment, Melville are having the lion's share of the possession. And they're making Wasps work. Comes out wide, Wes Stewart. Down the line he goes, and great run again from Sam Gears along the baseline. Swan is there, concedes another long corner. Ross Hall, plenty of touches for him in this match. Day. Trying to find a way around was Justin Shonken, lost possession, but it's stolen back. Dylan Forbes. Dylan Forbes originally from Mandurah. Shonken. Walsh threw his stick in there, didn't get it, he got it the second time though. Rainey. Oh, dear me. Deemed dangerous. Crowd didn't like that one. Oh, just hearing the coach Craig Wilson of Melville just saying, move the ball. Wants to see the players moving the ball. That's good skills again by Hyder. Jamie Walsh getting the touch, taken away, and over the side it goes off the stick of Sam Gears. Certainly Sam Gears involved in plenty in this first half as we are about to enter the final 2.5 minutes of the first half. Brought down in the end by Forbes. Forbes plays it square. Kyle Potter goes back to James Day. Tim Gears trying to help that one down the line into the path of Shonken, just got the angle wrong. Robinson looking for Rainey. Gears comes across, keeps the ball in play, and Rainey's beaten Day, but it just bobbled away from him and gave Gears a chance to get possession back, and he now feeds it to Day. And the first time pass kept in play brilliantly there by Ross Hall. He feeds Brand, and there's danger now for Wasps. Brandon Gibbs, though, will let that one go through for Swan. Swan plays it forward. And a good attacking run. Rainey, though, almost wrong-footed. As the ball came to him, he's got 3 players around who gets to find the foot. Lachlan Sampson was the player who fed Rainey. So Jamie Walsh. There are a number of players inside the circle for Wasps. Swan, that was off the foot, so it'll be a free hit just outside the circle. Back to enter the final minute of the first half. Can Wasps get an equaliser before the break? Played in first time by Rainey, but the angle wasn't right. He had 2 players sitting there. Murray McIntyre was one, and the other was Joel Mitten. Brand again coming back and making himself a target for the defenders. Ross Hall, down the side he goes, manages to get the ball to Dylan Forbes, who goes to Brand in space. Brand just in the midfield. Kyle Potter. It's a good pass again. Melville stretching Wasps at the moment. Swan inside the circle, brilliant once more. Just the way he reads the play, and then as soon as he gets the ball, accelerates away with it. Lachlan Sampson dispossessed. Good tackle by Justin Shonken. Shonken runs straight into Swan. Swan didn't change his line, to be fair. He just stood his ground. Shonken knocked the ball past him. And McIntyre, well, he could have so easily been in, but again, brilliantly timed tackle from Ross Hall. And that will be the final play of the first half, and understandably, the crowd giving some warm applause as the players make their way off. It's been a scintillating first half, and it is, though, Melville with the ascendancy, having clawed back their lead. They go into the break with a score that reads Melville City 3, Wesley South Perth 2. Welcome back to Perth Hockey Stadium. Half-time here in this preliminary final between Melville City Hockey Club and Wesley South Perth Hockey Club. And it is Melville currently leading by 3-2. Started like a train with a goal in just the 3rd minute. Kyle Potter converting after good work by Justin Shonkin. Tim Gears then with an outstanding finish past James Richardson into the roof of the net. Then Joel Mitten scored within 30 seconds after that goal, and it was 2-1 going into the first break. Then it was Brandon Gibbs pulled it back 2-2 2 minutes into the second quarter. But Tim Brand, after good work by Kyle Potter, managed to restore the lead for Melville. Melville, of course, trying to avenge their loss in the grand final 2016. Also, their loss to WASPS 4-1 in the qualifying final in September 2018. Well, they are in the driving seat at the moment. They have half an hour to go to see if they can make their second grand final. WASPS players making their way out. And we would like to thank our sponsors again, Tiger Turf, Kookaburra, Danks Furniture, Ausdrill and FMG. And of course we will be bringing you the 2 grand finals next weekend. And we're looking forward to that. Hale having booked a place in both of those, the men's and the women's, as Melville get the second half underway. I'm sure after losing the shootout to Hale on Thursday night, Melville will not want to go to a shootout again today against WASPS. Good work by Tim Gears. Gears again is so often the spark, and that's a very clumsy challenge from Lachlan Sampson, and he's got a 5-minute yellow card, and that isn't what WASPS needed at the start of the second half. So 30 seconds in, they find themselves down to 10, and Melville have the chance to really make them pay and restore that 2-goal lead if they can. Gears first times it into the circle, lovely turn, and it's a penalty corner. It was a lovely spin from Kyle Potter, who's been really lively, and we got the first penalty corner of the match going the way of Melville. Both these teams coming into this match have converted 25 penalty corners in the season. James Day has scored 19 of those 25 for Melville. But they only managed to get 1 from 5 in the game against Hale. So now it's a real test for James Richardson. Ben Rennie in goal for Hale was outstanding the other night. Tim Gears alongside Day at the top of the circle. Richardson talking to his defenders, obviously telling them the line he wants them to run. Day waits. Gears moves away. Comes out. Day flicks. It's fast. It's straight down the middle. It's a good save from Richardson. Brand, though, has collected the loose ball. Takes it into the circle. Brand trying to make his way along the baseline. Defenders going here, there, and everywhere. That was Swan. Ricocheted up the stick of Swan. Not dangerous, so it will be a long corner. Played straight away by James Day. Up in the air it goes. This time it's deemed to have come off the stick of Joel Mitten. So Tim Gears. Ross Hall again. And Hall's lifted that one. Off the post it came back, I think. Well, the WASPS players felt that that was dangerous. Wasn't given, though. And there's a little touch off Brandon Gibbs. And it'll be Melville ball from the side. So Brand again looks to go along the baseline. WASPS claiming he went out of play. The umpire agreeing with those claims. Remembering that WASPS are still down to 10 players at the moment. Lachlan Sampson sitting down below us. Still has another 3.5 minutes to go. Rainey leaves it for Gibbs. Gibbs is going to have to take it quickly because the time was running out. That's kept in play by Forbes. Swan, though, collects for WASPS. That's a good lead, but unfortunately couldn't get it under control from Paul Robertson. Just went over the side and then he obstructed. Robertson blocks, it goes over the side again. Day goes diagonally now. It's a good pass, picking out Kyle Potter. Potter tries to go diagonally again. It comes up off Swan's stick, brought down. And it's Richardson who has to make the save again. It was just lost momentarily. And off the foot, no complaints. Well, there was a brief complaint from Hale Walsh. And the umpire calling him across and having a word with him. So second penalty corner now for Melville. Hale Walsh, who unfortunately had his car stolen just a couple of weeks ago while he was at the WASPS annual awards. Not the best thing to come home to. So James Day, can he beat Richardson this time? Gears again lurking alongside him. Will he become a factor? Day flicks, goes straight into the first runner of Gibbs, who has taken that one full on the knee. And a penalty corner's been given again. Well, that seemed to clearly catch Gibbs on the knee. And the umpire saying below the knee. And Gibbs hobbles back behind the defensive goal line. So a third penalty corner now for Melville. Can they get another goal this time? Day waits, gears alongside, and the ball comes out. Day flicks. It's a brilliant save again by Richardson. And he got the ball away from the injector, so there was no chance of a follow-up shot. So really good goalkeeping, but Brand has kept it alive. That's great from Jamie Walsh. Good interceptors. Brand was trying to square it at the top of the circle. Wasps can attack, but there's numbers back for Melville really quickly. And that was a brilliant intercept from Ross Hall. And Ross Hall is having a big game for Melville when they need it. Day sliding back to get a touch on that is Lewis Barrett. Swan now for Wasps. Not many bodies forward as it comes to Keogh. And there were shouts of help him from the defensive line, and Brandon Gibbs now still in a lot of pain is coming off. He's gritting his teeth, hobbling away, and he's going to need to get ice on that. Nice gesture down below, actually. Frank Reynolds patting him on the back. Good to see, even in an important game like this for both clubs. Gesture like that from an opponent. So Wasps with a free hit, still trailing 3-2. Rainey dispossessed, or no, it was illegally taken with the foot by Tim Gears. So Rainey self-passes, tries to dribble towards the circle. He's done very well. And he's got another free hit. There's no ball on the pitch for Wasps to be able to take it quickly. Hale Walsh over the ball. They're back to their 11 players now. Rainey into the circle. Good defence from Trent Potter. Rainey got it again. Pearce played it in. This will break now for Robinson. Brand, though, got there ahead of him. Good defensive work from Brand, and now good play in the midfield from Patrick Welsh. Trent Potter. Desperation from Rainey. Got a touch, and Swan penalised for a push in the back of Sam Gears. Well, that was inside the 23-metre line, so it should have been taken there, but umpires seemed to be happy. Might have been an issue if it had been played directly into the circle. Swan, though, intercepts at the edge of the circle. Well, it was a well-intended pass, but Ross Hall read it really well. Kyle Potter again involved. Potter, Sam Gears and Ross Hall just getting plenty of touches, plenty of involvement in this match for Melville. Melville were the second highest scorers in the league this year, had the least losses, So they would feel they deserve the place in the grand final and to have another crack at Hale. Miles Hale just lost that for a second. Gave Dylan Deere a tricky ball, but Deere did well to get Tim Gears to play it over the sideline. Trent Potter, strong challenge from him. Frank Reynolds goes back to Hall again. James Day goes into that space, manages to get it to Patrick Welsh, and that will be intercepted. But I'm not sure Robinson will get on the end of that as Hall sweeps it forward and over the side. Well, it didn't go over the side. Trent Potter kept that in play. Probably the only person that would have been able to tell was Matthew Swan, who was closest. And Jamie Walsh just plays it straight into the shins of Trent Potter. Duncan Pearce. Brand, crucial touch from behind. That was a good touch from Keogh to feed it to Dylan Deere. Robinson has just given that away way too easily to McDougall. He feeds Brand. Brand looks to go round Jamie Walsh, and good pass from him finds Hyder. Hyder looking for the run ahead, but it's just a ball played too far ahead of Justin McDougall. So 7 minutes left now in this third quarter. A really healthy crowd for this preliminary semi-final as Potter's got a touch on that, so it'll be a Wasps ball. Murray McIntyre leaves it behind. Swan to Cale Walsh. Flick down the line and not brought down by Day, and Rainey knocks the stick out of the hand. It's going to go into... Oh! McIntyre was lurking, but McCorn, well, he must have ice in his veins the way he was happy to let that run across the face of his goal. Or maybe he just saw out the corner of his eye McIntyre move forward and knew that therefore there was safety behind him. But Nicholas McCorn giving a few people a few palpitations there. Gibbs has one goal. Can he spark another? Rainey. Just taken away from him by Tim Gears, and now Day back to Gears. Gibbs over the side. Coming up to the final 5 minutes of the third quarter. Day's gone infield. Miles Cale nearly got that one. Cale couldn't get hold of that. Rainey gets a touch on that, takes it away, and over the side it goes, but it'll be Forbes to play on. Swan, as Forbes passed, didn't manage to find Gears. Lovely touch by McIntyre to Pearce. Into the circle it goes. Is it going to break? It's gone against Wasps after they got the ball in the goal. Lewis Barrett with the final touch. No complaints though from Wasps players. Obviously they knew that there was an infringement. Probably just caught either the back of the stick or it was a slight touch on the foot. Now the big question, McIntyre throws himself there to try and keep the ball alive. Can Wasps get level before the final break? Or will Melville take that one goal lead into the final 15 minutes? And if they do, can they hang on to it? Ball's going to bounce all the way down and out of place. It'll be a 16. There's a real silence around the ground. There's a little hubbub of noise, and then it's just gone quiet now as we head into these final 3.5 minutes. Comes wide again to Dylan Forbes. Forbes looks to cut infield, followed all the way by Lachlan Sampson. Forbes continues his run, looking to pick out Tim Brand, but he was too far ahead of it. Dylan Forbes, who knows all about playing big games in the 2015 Under-15 Nationals. He had 3 bones in his foot broken, but kept playing and actually won the MVP of the tournament. So he's a tough cookie, Dylan Forbes. Tate, closed down by McIntyre, played it into McIntyre's feet. So Wasps now trying to press a little bit higher. Pearce got a touch, but it lifted up, unfortunately. And in a lot of pain is Patrick Welsh. Patrick Welsh, whose grandfather was an original member in the founding year of the club back in 1936. He's up on his feet, which is always good to see. Pearce comes in and apologises, and they have a bit of a joke about it, which is good. Certainly there was nothing intentional in that. Tate. Oh, he disguised that pass brilliantly to Trent Potter. Shonkin now. Free hit goes the way of Justin Shonkin. Shonkin self-passes. So it's actually going to be a Wasps free hit out. Ball lifted too high. Joel Mitten, and he's just pushed that one over the side. He's trying to feed it down the line to Rainey. Kyle Potter picks out Shonkin again. Kyle Walsh getting a touch, but Shonkin got it away from Swan. And Brand now penalises, saying, what for? Ball from the side now with Forbes again. Infield it goes to Tim Gears, chased by Rainey. Good touch from McIntyre, but it'll be picked up by Tate. And Tate played it into the shins of Lachlan Sampson. Has room now to carry the ball forward for Melville. Down the line it goes, and unfortunately for Melville, it goes out over the baseline, and the crowd up on the hill don't like that decision at all. And McDougall doesn't either, as he continues the conversation. And now it has been reversed to a corner. Now, you don't see that too often, an umpire changing their decision. Brand just catching his own foot as he was looking to turn and get inside the circle. We're into the final 30 seconds of the third quarter. Played forward to Murray McIntyre. Over the side it goes, off the stick of Tate. Still time for Wasps to launch one last attack as we're into the final 30 seconds. The aerial pass didn't get off the ground that time. And it's now Melville who had a chance, but the ball was too far away from Tim Brand, and it will roll harmlessly out of play as we wait for the hooter to sound and the players start to make their way to their coaches. As we head into the final 2-minute break, it is still Melville City 3, Wasps 2. Welcome back to the Perth Hockey Stadium as we're about to go into the final 15 minutes of this preliminary final. Melville City still leading WASPS by 3-2. Place in the grand final against Hale up for grabs next weekend. Have Melville done enough to claim victory? That 1-goal advantage at the moment, or will WASPS find an equaliser? Maybe take us into extra time, and of course, if it's extra time, it is sudden death. Whistle goes, and Melville get the final 15 minutes underway. And of course, if it's then level, after that, we go into a shootout. Swan has given away a penalty corner. And that's not the start that they would have wanted. The ball was thrown wide, and it was good work by Justin Shonkin. 4th penalty corner of the match now for Melville. Wasps have not won a single penalty corner so far in this match. They've kept James Day at bay. Richardson has made 2 very good saves. Making his way to the baseline is Welsh. Day and Gears waiting at the top of the circle. Sure, it will be Day again. It is indeed. Oh no, it's a good variation, but Richardson, what a save. Kyle Potter denied, and he can't believe it. I think that came off the inside of James Richardson's pad. It looked as if it was going to arrow into his bottom right-hand corner, but luckily for Wasps, it went out of play. So Kyle Potter denied now by Richardson. Tim Gears over the ball. First time by Kyle Potter, but gives it just to Rainey. Rainey plays it forward. Robertson, a little bit of space to turn. Tries to throw it in the air. If it's missed by Gears, it was through to McIntyre, but Gears didn't miss it. Sam Gears now takes on Brandon Gibbs. Sam Gears turns. He's beaten Gibbs. He's into the circle. Sam Gears trying to double back. Rainey, though, takes it off him. A very good tackle by Daniel Rainey. And Rainey somehow has dribbled his way out of trouble in that corner. Great play by Daniel Rainey. Rainey again. And Rainey carrying the ball forward. Sam Gears gives chase. That's a great pass to Joel Mitten. Brilliant save, McCorn. McCorn came out, closed down Mitten immediately. That's gone over the baseline. And it's given us a 16 when Wasps would have really loved a long corner. Super save, though, by Nicholas McCorn. McCorn, who has McGregor on the back of his shirt. I'm not sure if that's a sponsorship deal or whether it's Hamish McGregor, the former New Zealand goalkeeper, because McCorn was actually born in New Zealand. Stolen well by Forbes. Forbes has to double back. Lachlan Sampson gets goal side. Shonkin into the foot of Brandon Gibbs. That was a little bit too easy. James Day throws to the air again. Swan jumps up and brings it down. It was a good shout, and what a collection that is. Absolutely brilliant from Joel Mitten. What a pass, it's goal! Well, what a pass from Joel Mitten, and a really great finish. Lewis Barrett, who many felt was only in the team because Brynda Bez was injured, has equalised for Wasps. Well, this game has now come to life. Well, it was a brilliant pass. And a very good finish in the end from Lewis Barrett. Lewis Barrett hails from Katanning. Was a Wesley boy as well. So we have 11.5 minutes left, all tied up now. Can either of these teams find a winner in normal time, or are we headed for extra time? It will be 5 minutes each way. Whoever scores first wins, and then if it's still level, we go into a shootout. Given away by Pearce. Swan comes across, it goes up off his stick dangerously towards Tim Brand, so free hit to Melville. Tim Gears, no, it was inside the 23 metres. And that is not good. That's a brilliant save. What a save from Richardson. The deflection coming from Shonken. And that's why decisions like that have to be right, because Day was able to play the ball directly into the circle when the ball had been lifted from inside the 23-metre line. Brought down now by Trent Potter. That was into the foot by Duncan Pearce. Good defence from him. But Richardson, what a save. Outstanding. Over the side it goes. Ross Hall. Rainey looks to flick it long. Needs to be watched by the defender. He's done well. Robertson came in immediately on Potter once he'd got it under control, but it's good defence again. Coming out was Wesley Stewart. Wesley Stewart, who is very good at the back for Melville. Coach last season saying that he had great versatility in the defensive line. Wes Stewart. Played in. Frank Reynolds looking for the return pass. It never came his way. It was off the foot of Barrett rather. Barrett again. Stewart though will have the free hit from out by wide. Goes back to Tim Gears. Miles Hale, a very important touch from him, and Robertson will hold things up. Goes back and gave a really nasty ball to Barrett. Brandon Gibbs now. A little bit more space and a bit more composure for Wasps as they come out, and we enter the final 9 minutes of the match. Thrown over the top. Everybody stop. Lachlan Sampson. McCorn comes out. Sampson tries to go round him. Play on is the call. Well, Nicholas McCorn got the decision there, and I think it was the right decision. The umpire, you feel for them in those moments. And to be fair, there's no complaints down below from the men in green and gold. Brand has won another long corner. Tim Gears. In fact, no, it wasn't Tim Gears, it was Patrick Welsh. This is Tim Gears. Ross Hall. James Day takes a deflection. Oh dear. That comes off Gibbs' stick and into the face of Trent Potter. As we've got a little bit of blood, I think maybe. And he's going to have to come off. Well, that's unfortunate for Trent Potter. It was nothing much he could do about it. And he's getting, again, some commiserations from his teammates as he makes way. Oh dear, you heard the groans from the bench there, so it doesn't sound like it looks particularly good. Into the circle for Melville. Brand tries to turn, he lifts it though. Well, he played it into the turf and then lifted the ball, squeezing that shot into the turf on the turn. Trent Potter getting some treatment down below us. But when he took his shirt down, the groans from his teammates were not the most encouraging thing he would have heard all day. And it's, well, the umpires, one signalling one way and then the other, but they confer and the free hit went the way of Melville. Lachlan Sampson just poked over the side and It took a touch off Sampson's stick. Forbes weighing up the options. South passes, down the line he goes. Chance to turn and run now for Kyle Potter, who's just seen his brother going off with a nasty injury. Swan gets the free hit for Wasps. We've got 6.5 minutes left of normal time. All tied up at 3 apiece, and Wasps continue that record of always scoring 3 goals against Melville over the last 3 years. They've scored now 52 goals in 7 matches against Melville. This is the 8th actually, so Murray McIntyre brings it down. Murray McIntyre scores! What a finish from Murray McIntyre. Well, he has now scored in 6 of the 8 meetings. Murray McIntyre, what a finish by him. And Wasps, who have not led at all in this match, have finally taken the lead. And there are under 6 minutes left. And now it is Melville who have to find a goal from somewhere. How cruel the game can be. Top of the ladder, and they've dominated this match, but somehow Wasps have shown incredible character to come from behind. They were 2-0 down at one stage, and they will look to eat up as much time as they possibly can. James Day pushes it to Tim Gears. Can Gears influence his team one more time? That's a good bit of play by Lewis Barrett. Matthew Swan, south passes. He was looking to give it to Robinson, then he went infield. Now he just throws it in the air. Duncan Pearce is chasing that, but he won't get it. Ball boy throws the ball on quickly, taking a good 3 meters ahead of the 16-yard line. James Day again still trying to steal a few meters. Self passes now. Carries it forward. Day. Oh dear. Sampson slips as he went into Day. There were appeals for a free hit, but I think Sampson just slipped. Ross Hall takes a deflection off the stick of Robertson. And Sampson is getting a yellow card for that challenge. 10 minutes because he already had 5. I'm sorry, I can't agree with that decision. I think that is very, very harsh. But anyway, it doesn't matter what I think. The umpire's made the decision. It's brought down, and a penalty corner given now for coming inside the 5-meter space as the ball was brought down. So a 5th penalty corner for Melville. Wasps down to 10. Melville yet to convert a penalty corner. Is this the moment where they need to score a penalty corner and they manage to pull level? James Day waits at the top of the circle. 19 penalty corner goals he's scored this season out of Melville's 25 scored from penalty corners. If ever they needed him to score, it is now. The ball comes out, it's stopped well. Day sweeps, great running by the first runner, Hale Walsh. And the decision eventually, when the umpires confirm, gets turned over and Walsh can go down on the turf where he was hit. Well, a re-award was initially issued, and then the umpire on the halfway line saying no, it was too high. What running by Hale Walsh. A player that is Wasps through and through. He's wringing his hand on the far side. It obviously hurt a fair bit. Jamie Walsh looks to slide it out, but he's given it straight back to Kyle Potter. Kyle Potter found Brand. Good work from Welsh. Welsh goes back to Day. Day pushes it wide. Wesley Stewart infield to Tim Gears. Gears is a tricky customer. Great tackle by Pearce. Pearce pushing it wide into the feet of James Day. It's a free hit, and he's just trying to play it back to Rainey to get on with it. But Wasps will stroll forward. 3.5 minutes left in the match. Jamie Walsh pushes it forward again, given straight back to James Day. Day manages to play it wide now. Kyle Potter, who started the scoring in the 3rd minute of this match. Ross Hall. Hall lifts it over the stick of Gibbs. Advances towards the baseline. Coming across is Walsh. Kept in play by Ross Hall. Walsh again trying to just pull the ball away. Over the side it goes. Ross Hall pushes towards Brand. Swan has taken it away from Brand. Brand, though, is close attendance to Swan. And over the baseline it goes. Off the stick of Swan. Long corner. Forbes back to Day. Day crashed that one straight into the feet of McIntyre. Day plays on again. It's lifted off the stick, I think it was, of Rainey this time. Long corner is given, not deemed dangerous. So Tim Gears over the ball. And we're seeing Melville pull their goalkeeper. McCorn has gone off, so they now have, in fact, 2 extra outfield players, because let's remember Lachlan Sampson got a 10-minute yellow card. Into the circle it goes, swept clear by Rainey, only out on the far side, and it's Stewart. Brilliant tackle from Rainey to take it off Wes Stewart. So Melville with a 2-player advantage at the moment. They need the ball. Swan trying to hang on to it. Lovely skills from Matthew Swan, the man from Mackay. Dazzling. He's spun away from trouble again, but he's given up possession. Into the circle it goes, penalty corner. And Wasps are, well, they can't believe it. They say that was off the Melville player. And the discussions continue. And the umpires, are they going to confer? I'm not sure whether they are, or they're mic'd up, or is the decision going to stand? Well, Melville are ready to take the penalty corner. They're 6th. We have 1 minute, 54 seconds left on the clock. Melville trailing 4-3. James Day gets another chance from a penalty corner. Tim Gears alongside him. Will he just slip it to him this time around and let the captain try and pull them level? Comes out. It is pushed to Day. It's gone wide. Well, again, it was brilliant running by the first runner, Kale Walsh, closing it down. A 16 has been awarded. And Melville placing the ball, wanting Wasp to get on with it. Jamie Walsh leaves it for brother Kale, who'll flick it long. Rainey's underneath it. It'll fall for Gibbs. Gibbs keeps it in play. Rainey got his stick to it. Decision, though, goes the way of Melville. Up jumps Gibbs, keeps it in the Melville half. Ross Hall has stolen a good 5 meters there from where it went out of play. James Day pushes out wide to the right-hand side. We're not into the final minute just yet. It's been stolen again in the far corner by Robertson this time. Feeds it to Swan. Swan under pressure. Swan has shown what he can do, hanging on to the ball. Lost it last time, conceded a penalty corner after he lost it. Swan on one knee. Over the side it goes. Swan gets the free hit. We are now in the last minute. Well, are Wasps going through to the grand final and get the chance to avenge that loss to Hale? Rainey stood his ground, and then coming into that space was Kyle Potter, so it'll be a Wasp free hit. 32 seconds left. They've eaten up 3 or 4 seconds. Just took a touch, pushed it forward, threw it in the air. Day brings it down on the reverse stick, trying to keep it in play, accelerating forward, gets over halfway, evades the challenge of Rainey. Cuts infield, James Day, across the face of goal. There's bodies there, and the touch was not a good one. It took the ball away from the 2 players. Wesley Stewart was running up the outside, and the Melville players sink to their knees. They cannot believe it. They led for so much of the match. And in the end, it is Wasps who've come from 3rd place who will go through to the grand final on Saturday, where they will play Hale. Melville, who topped the table, have missed out again, and you can see Tim Gears is absolutely devastated inside the circle. But what an epic match we've witnessed once again. It was a 2-goal lead in the first 11 minutes for Melville. Joel Mitten pulled a goal back at the end of the first quarter, and then Brandon Gibbs equalised in the 17th minute before Tim Brand restored the lead for Melville. And then Lewis Barrett in the 48th minute pulled Wasps level once more, and then the veteran Murray McIntyre in the 54th minute scored with an upright reverse stick shot to clinch the lead for the first time in the match for Wasps, and they've hung on. And the final score is Melville City Hockey Club 3, Wasps 4. Wasps to play Hale in the grand final next Saturday.